Why is this so far away?
I'm sure all of you are really happy that the pump shotgun is back in the game, including myself. I'm pretty happy that the gun that shouldn't have been taken out of the game to begin with is finally being added back in. I think this video is really important for me to cover both in a tips and tricks aspect and just in discussion aspect, because I think finally the shotguns are balanced and they never really have been in Fortnite. Even when you leave the combat shotgun in and you take out the pump shotgun, it's pretty apparent that you don't necessarily need a shotgun to win the game. And in a previous video, which I talked about why I believed removing the pump was a really good idea, I talked about how the pump was really overpowered and pretty much ran the entire battle royale aspect of Fortnite. If you didn't have a pump, it was extremely hard to win the game, and in any video game, you don't want one weapon to determine whether or not you win. In this video today, we're going to be discussing what shotgun out of the two is the better option and why. I want you guys to let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Tell me what you prefer. Do you prefer the combat or do you prefer the pump shotgun? And I want you to go into as much detail as possible because this is going to be a video that gets a lot of attention, I would assume, since this is relatively new and the new pump shotgun being in the game isn't necessarily going to be permanent. So I want to know what you guys have to say about it. Since yesterday, I've been experimenting with both of the shotguns to try and find which one I preferred over the other, and I was looking for the following 4 things: consistency, accuracy, timing, and dependability. I really do love the combat shotgun, but I really also do love the pump shotgun. The pump is such a brutal weapon to use at close range, and a lot of the fights that I take on do end up being at close range. But the problem what I find with the pump is that it's really inconsistent and slow compared to that of the combat shotgun. There were numerous times where I'd be in a fight with another player and I would get a clean shot off on them and try and pull the trigger again to find that I couldn't because I was still waiting for the pump to be ready to fire again, where if I had a combat shotgun, that player would have been dead. The popular strategy that all of us use with the pump shotgun is having a backup weapon following our pump shot, like the SMG or the Deagle, or the flintlock. Basically a weapon that can follow up a shot in order to hope to kill the other player or do more damage. I can tell you that this is an issue going against the combat shotgun if you have a pump. Numerous times I found myself looking at the end of a combat shotgun barrel and just trying to hit a really good shot with my pump, which missed or hit for a low amount of damage as my opponent is just pummeling me with shots from the combat shotgun. The problem with the pump is that if you want to kill someone instantly, it has to be for 200 damage or above, and you have to be at really close range. Now mind you, you only get that one chance every second, whereas with the combat it's really rapid, and even if you miss a shot with the combat, you still have another opportunity directly after that to hit another shot. With the pump, you have to wait. In the time that you do hit your shot with the pump, you have to pull out your SMG or another weapon to keep the damage count flowing, which can definitely negatively affect how that fight will end. If you have a combat shotgun, you don't have to wait that long and you can keep the fire rate going and the damage count rising. While you're trying to pull out your SMG or whatever weapon you have that backs up your pump shot, the other player with the combat shotgun can literally light you up before you can even fire back. As I experimented more with the pump shotgun, I found that it lacked a major aspect which really messed up my game. A few major aspects, as a matter of fact. When I needed a shotgun for close range, the pump wasn't as consistent as the combat was, and when I needed a shotgun for long range, it didn't do as much damage as the combat does. The problem that I have with the pump is that it really isn't adaptable like the combat is. Obviously, the combat shotgun is not meant for close range combat, but it still does the job just fine. Whereas the pump is really only meant for close range, and it does lack damage at medium range and long range too. Whereas the combat can do an insane amount of damage from close range, medium range, and long range. With the combat, the fire rate, the accuracy, and the ability to just kill so many players was my favorite aspect of the whole entire experiment. I'm going to be showing you a clip that shows off the fire rate, the accuracy, and the dependability of the combat shotgun. This is a clip from my stream yesterday. Before I show it, I just want to apologize for the quality. I streamed in 720p, so it isn't as clear as my gameplay is, but regardless, let's take a look at it.
Oh my. But I'm down here. I can't get a shot on him though. Alright, whatever. For that reason right there, I feel like it's just better. Where'd he go? I'm out of ammo. Crap. No. Thank you. There's more? My God. I can't put my, there we go. No way, dude. Come on, dude, stop. Thank you.
So clearly you can see that if I didn't have the combat shotgun, the likelihood of me surviving those engagements is pretty slim. What I really loved about the moment is that the combat allowed me to not only consistently do damage to everyone that flew at me, but when I aimed with that gun, the feeling of it snapping to my enemies without missing is what I really loved the most. To follow up my earlier point of using a follow-up weapon with the pump, you can actually see in that clip that the first player I killed tried to do this but couldn't get it off in time, and he actually missed the first pump shot. In the time it took for him to shoot and miss his shot and then pull out his drum gun, I had already killed him. This is why I firmly believe that if you guys use the combat shotgun, you'll be more successful. In another video which I talked about how to get more kills in Season 9, the premise of that video was to talk about the best strategy to consistently get more kills and win more games. This strategy was the flintlock and the combat shotgun strategy, a strategy that I ultimately fell back on about 3 hours after playing with just the pump and the SMG. I can tell you that I had far more success using this strategy and a lot more damage dealt to players. Yes, this could be because I'm not entirely used to the pump and the SMG yet, but my suppressed SMG shot is insanely accurate and the combat shotgun just melted me when I didn't have one myself. With that being said, at the time when the pump was removed, I think that it was a really normal reaction for all of us to be opposed to it, since that was probably a good majority of our favorite gun to use. But now it just seems like the combat shotgun offers more than the pump shotgun does. When you put the combat and the pump in the game together, it creates a challenge for those who don't have a combat shotgun. With this being said, I think Epic is going to take the pump out of the game. Now, why might that be? Because finally at one point we have a balanced game with balanced weapons. If you didn't have a combat shotgun before this update, it wasn't required of you to have it to win. Whereas before Season 9, it was extremely difficult to win a game without a pump shotgun. Epic is trying to balance the game out, and I think that they have finally done so. So let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about the whole shotgun debate. What gun do you prefer after playing yesterday and a little bit of today too? Use my creator code YTRubus in the item shop. Do drop a like on this video. Subscribe if you guys are new. Stay healthy, stay positive, stay blessed, and chase your dreams. And I'll see you guys next video.